When was the last time you lucked out? Do you ever feel like you're just letting people down? And what do you think is the best way to learn English? To look up a word every time you don't know one, or just wait and keep on listening? These are a few of the things that we're going to cover today with phrasal verbs. Thanks for watching. I'm Phil. I teach at Mayak here in the Czech Republic, and I'm glad you've joined me for another round of phrasal verbs. Let's get started. So first we have lay off. Lay off. This means to tell someone that they can't work there because of economic reasons or just because of lack of work. There's no work to be done. The company had to lay off about 30% of the staff. The company had to lay off about 30% of the staff. Next, leave out. Leave out. It means to fail to include someone or something. To fail to include someone or something. So you could say, nobody talked to me at the party all night long and I just felt so left out. Nobody talked to me and I felt like I was left out. Or in the office, he left out some really important information in the document. He left out some really important information. Let down, let down. To fail to support somebody like they had hoped. To fail to support someone like they had hoped you would. So friends could say to each other, if I let him down, he'll never trust me again. If I let him down, he'll never trust me again. We can take just a deeper moment right here. Being let down is really tricky, and it's in the definition that I gave you, to not support someone like they hoped you would. And that's the problem with relationships sometimes. We have different hopes and expectations of what will happen in the relationship. And two different people can have two different expectations in one relationship. Have you ever been let down before by someone? Did the other person recognize they had let you down? I know in my life sometimes I've let someone down, but I might not actually realize it. The other person has to come to me and explain, you really let me down, you disappointed me. I thought you would help or support me more or better than you actually did. This is why communication is so important, right? And we're doing this in English, so this is a part of English, to be able to communicate and share feelings and who we are with somebody else. All right, next we have let up. Let up. You might not have heard this one very many times, but we use it plenty. It's to make something less strong or less severe or less intense. To make something less strong, less severe, or less intense. To let up. The rain let up after about 15 minutes. The rain let up after about 15 minutes. It means it was raining really, really hard, but after about 15 minutes, it wasn't raining so hard anymore, not so strongly. Or, in a race, a different situation, she was so far ahead in the race that she was able to let up a little bit. It means she was winning the race, she was very far ahead, and she could take just a few seconds and slow down, be less intense in her running, just for a little bit, so she can relax. Look back on. Look back on. And it simply means to think about the past. And I'm going to give you a new vocabulary word here. Do you know the word reminisce? To reminisce. This is just simply to think about the past. Don't spend too much time looking back at all the hard times in your life. Look forward. Don't spend time looking back at the past, but look forward. Now, my question to you is that even good advice? Is it good advice to not look at the past and only look forward? Personally, I don't think so. Personally, I think we need to have a good balance of looking back at the past, looking forward to the future, and being in the present. But I do know that different types of personalities, different people, naturally look back a bit more. Some look forward quite a bit more, and some are right here in the present. And none are good, none are bad, none are perfect. But I think it's important to recognize when we're looking back too much. Are there times in your life that you like to look back and you just think about all the beautiful times, the good times and the sweet times? Or are you the kind of person that looks back and only sees the bad stuff that's happened and brings that into your present? What kind of person are you? I would challenge you to think that through today and see how you deal with looking back at the past. Look down on, look down on. This is to look at somebody and regard someone as if they were less than you are, not as good as you, and you are superior. You look down on them if you feel like you are superior to them. It seems like he's always looking down on his neighbors because he knows he has a lot more possessions and things than many of them do. So he seems to be always looking down on them. Look forward to. We know this one. It's to expect something in the future with pleasure, with happiness, right? To look forward to something. I'm really looking forward to my vacation next summer. I'm really looking forward to my vacation next summer. It's easy when you want to talk about looking forward to a thing, but in English, we don't usually look forward to just a person. We wouldn't say, I'm looking forward to him or to her or to my parents. We wouldn't say that exactly. We need to change it just a little bit. So you can say, I'm looking forward to visiting my parents. I'm looking forward to talking to them. I'm looking forward to seeing them. This would be much more standard than just, I'm looking forward to them. No, I'm looking forward to seeing them or visiting them or talking to them. Look in on, look in on. To look in on somebody is just to make a short visit there, and it brings to mind the idea of also kind of caring for them, maybe helping somehow, or at least loving them or caring for them. So, I'm going to look in on my grandparents tomorrow. It means I'll make a short visit there. I won't stay too long, but I'll also help them. I'll get whatever they need. I'll arrange some things for them. I'll buy some groceries if they need it. I'll do a few things really quickly in my visit. I'll look in on them. To look into something. To look into something. This is to investigate something. So the police have been looking into the robbery that happened yesterday. The police have been looking into the robbery that happened yesterday. That means they're simply investigating the robbery that happened yesterday. Look like. Look like. To have an appearance similar to someone or something. To have an appearance that's similar to someone or something. Has anybody ever told you, you look just like your mother, or you look just like your father? This is to look like someone, to have a similar appearance. Do you know the, I think, American slang phrase that you're the spittin' image of her? You're the spittin' image of your mother or your father. This is just a funny old way to say you look just like them. You're the spittin' image of your mother or father. To look over. Look over. It means to examine or read something pretty quickly. To examine or read something pretty quickly. I only had a few minutes to look over the document, but I think I get the gist of it. I only had a few minutes to look at the document, but I think I get the gist of it. It means I think I get the main idea of what this document's about, even though I only had a few minutes to check it out. Look up. Of course, look up is like this, to look up into the sky. But we also have look up as in find information or answers in a book or a database or somewhere like this, to look up. So in English learning, when you don't know a word, it's a good idea to take your dictionary out or your dictionary on your phone and look up that word. When you don't know a word, look it up. Is this how you learn English? Do you look up words as soon as you need them or as soon as you don't know what they are? Especially if you're reading some English text. How do you do it? Different people do it different ways. Sometimes if I'm learning another language, I like to let it go for a little while and see if I can understand it before I look up each word, because my brain gets stuck on individual words sometimes, and if I look up each one, I forget what I'm reading. But how is it for you? Let me know in the comments how you like to learn English and if you like to look up every word. Okay, another definition for look up is that a situation is improving somehow. The situation is better now. So you've been in maybe a bad situation or a bad relationship or something bad for a long time, and then you say to a friend, finally, this situation is looking up. The situation is finally looking up. It means this situation is finally getting a little bit better. I'm not down here so much. The situation is looking up. Look up to. Look up to someone. It means to admire or respect them, to look up to someone. I've always looked up to my older brother. I've always looked up to my older brother. And the players look up to their coach. The players look up to their coach. And luck out. Luck out. It means to experience great luck or just simply to be lucky. To luck out. I know when you think luck out, you might think you're out of luck, like you don't have any luck, but that's not true. To luck out actually means to have a lot of luck, to be lucky. I really lucked out and I got the last 2 tickets to the concert. I really lucked out. I got the last 2 tickets to the concert. You can hear in this sentence, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing to luck out. You just got really lucky and you have your tickets to the concert. Thanks again for joining me for another whirlwind of phrasal verbs. I love this. As a teacher, phrasal verbs are one of my favorite things to teach, so I'm glad you can join me for this. If you haven't left a comment in the comment section down here, please do that today. This can be your day. I'd love to connect with you and see if there's anything else that you'd like to hear about in a video sometime. Have a great day. Thanks.